station
Yeah,
admin position.
Tim is trying to get them to interact with the community at big barbecues and hang out because if there's a violent occurrence later, oh, well, I went to the barbecue with that guy. I don't want to shoot him, and vice versa
Mm-hmm.
between the citizens and the cops.
The front desk
But
computer and admin email are not to be used for personal quarrels or other unofficial business. And remember to wash your coffee mugs. Since my numerous friendly reminder about not having personal packages delivered to the station have gone unheeded, from here on out, if you are seen fit to send something to the station, I will see fit to announce to the station what you've received. Is it a federal offense to open someone's mail? Yes, it is. Is it a personal offense that I need to share my desk space with your late night impulse buys? Yes, it is. You have been warned. P.S. Officer Lightfoot, your beetle is ready for pickup. And there's Chet with his beard all. We know who Lightfoot is now. It's Chet.
yeah,
While you're locked in the bathroom. What's this? I know one of you is stealing toilet paper. I've been counting them, and there's an entire roll missing every day from stock. Theft is taken seriously around here. It's a sheriff station for Pete's sake. One of these days, I'm going to catch you red-handed, and you better believe you're getting thrown out. What a disgrace you are. What kind of nut counts the toilet paper rolls? Sounds like you got too much time on your hands. all this
fucking
pass,
work,
all this passive
passive
aggressive.
aggressive workplace garbles.
Yeah, not much happens here. So you gotta do.
So there's not much for you to do in town otherwise, other than
It
to
is, Walter. Huh? I'm at my wit's end with you. I want out! Something bad's going down. I can feel it. Let me out!
so you don't really have much to do here other than just head to the
Do you think I'm
Cauldron Lake when you go to your car.
Mm-hmm.
No, I don't. Do you have any idea how much paperwork you're causing me? What's a lot?
I can't get through this.
Oh. Okay, let's go. Unless. No. Okay.
Just steal the
Nightingale and
person's
the Vault
coffee
are
cup.
dangerous. We need to be prepared in case things escalate more than they already have. Can you call it in, Casey?
A smart choice, Anderson. Yeah, Agent Casey here. Yeah, we need backup. The Bright Falls case? Whoever you can spare. ASAP. Think we'll actually find Nightingale at the lake?
The pages haven't been wrong yet?
We can't assume the person writing these pages isn't playing us.
I agree. But it's our best lead. I'm gonna take a quick look around. Meet you back at the car.
See you in a bit.
Oh, there he is. Now, presumably, we're already in like we're already in the shit. I doubt we're gonna get any backup. I went the long way.
Did you check out the town, Anderson?
Just getting my bearings. Ready to go?
Waiting on you.
Rinse and repeat. Clock out.
I need to come clean, Anderson. I know why Nightingale was here 13 years ago.
Oh?
He was chasing a writer, Alan Wake.
Tammy mentioned him. She's writing a book on his disappearance.
You know the detective character from his books, Alex Casey.
Yeah, I've heard the jokes at the office. Cold case Casey. Murder case Casey. Sorry.
Ha ha. It's the same name, similar job. It's the first thing anyone thinks of. It annoyed me, but that was it. Then, 10 years ago, I started getting strange letters in the mail. Fragments of prose describing murders. You've heard the stories about what happened in New York. Some of it, at least. Bodies started to pile up. It was a murder cult. Turns out the fragments sent to me were from the crime books of Alan Wake. The cult was copycatting the murders from the books. In their heads, they were performing a ritual to bring Wake back. Their imagined prophet. After that case, I started looking into Wake's disappearance on the side.
And you thought this case might be connected to him? His name does keep popping up.
I just wanted you to have all the facts.
Next time, give them to me before we find ourselves in the middle of a horror story.
Yeah, we're still in like the epilogue of chapter 1. Is that the case? Okay, yeah.
Yeah. Now you're in chapter 2.
Ah, okay.
The page says Nightingale's in something called an overlap. Need to figure out exactly what that means.
I'm happy I'm not in charge of this mess.
Thanks. Let's start looking for Nightingale where he was killed.
The writer of these pages knows what will happen. Because they're behind this, or because they can see what's coming. Impossible things are happening here. A world operating on different rules.
Since we are now dealing with the supernatural, there's a lot on the table.
To solve the case.
It is now not just simple cult murder. There's something else going on.
I've been thinking more about the cult of the tree. What sort of cult refers to themselves as a cult?
Yeah!
My experience, they don't.
Typically cults say they're not
I'm not
cults.
seeing the full picture yet.
Oh, hey. How's it going?
Hey, hello there. How are you folks doing?
Those restricted area signs don't do a damn thing, huh?
Hello, Saga Anderson. Are you two supposed to be here?
I'm Ilmo Koskela. Fantastic to meet
Oh,
You saw him on the
Koskela.
ad.
you. And yes, Stephen here hired me to show him through the woods. He's in town on important government business. Fixing this impressive piece of hardware.
I work for the FBC, ma'am. I'm
Okay.
supposed to be here.
And I bet you two are here about that murder. Nasty stuff. How's it going?
How did you hear about the murder, Ilmo? Do you know anything that could help us?
People tend to tell me things. The Koskela brothers are kind of a household name around here. Speaking of, if you're looking for some fun, stop by Watery. Just down the road from Bright Falls, there's our Coffee World amusement park. There's sauna ja vihta. And we offer a variety of guided tours, hunting, fishing, hiking, whatever strikes your fancy. You name it, we probably got it.
They got bolt cutters.
What is this thing?
It's just a monitoring station, ma'am. The Federal Bureau of Control checks volcanic activity and air toxicity levels. No need to worry, though. It's mostly for research purposes.
That's one gorgeous,
Fucking lying.
Yeah!
Nordic. I bet a family member made it.
My mother made this sweater for me. How do you know?
I knew it. My mom used to knit those sweaters for me and my brother. Watery, my hometown, was founded by Finnish immigrants. So between your name and the sweater, I figured your family might be from Finland too. Suomi, Finland. Pulla, Karjalan piirakka.
Close. My mom's family is from Sweden originally. I don't know much about them beyond that. The sweater is just something to remember her by. Stephen, we're investigating a murder that occurred nearby. What can you tell me about your bureau?
Nothing that isn't classified, I'm afraid. But I don't know anything about a murder. Operations here are run by a different department. I'm just here to make some repairs. The wiring on this thing frays every couple months.
Yep, that's the raccoons. They grow real big here with teeth like you wouldn't believe. Can not run through a garbage can.
Like, FBC, they're like the evil government people from the Control game.
They're not evil.
Not evil?
They're the good guys in Control.
Oh, okay, okay.
No, Jessie in Control, the protagonist, she's an agent. And by the end of the game, spoilers, she becomes the director of the agency.
Oh.
Yeah, they're not necessarily evil. It's just They're a giant government federal bureau trying to deal with the supernatural,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
that's hard.
Clear signs of tampering. Signal was rerouted into transmitter, but that is not one of ours. I fixed. Oh, rerouted. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I fixed it so any alerts would come our way, but it's definitely it's definitely concerning. I'll make a report to the investigations department. Leaving this here in case I'm not the next person to fix this thing. If you're reading this, check for tampering. We may want to put more secure metal casings around the whole thing so that the raccoons, quotation marks, can't get into it anymore.
So probably not actual raccoons.
Yeah. People of some kind.
You should go up there.
Yeah, there's a thing.
There's a collectible.
Is that a kid's lunchbox? An Alex Casey movie lunchbox.
We're all in this
This
together,
is the
hero.
English
Have a
text
heroic
spell
day.
coincidentally having the same name as a fake detective.
He hates those cheesy crime books, but he really hates the movies.
What's with these decorated rocks?
They're rocks painted to look like eggs.
Weapon upgrade.
So when you get manuscript fragments,
Oh,
when you get them, you can upgrade your gun's physical capabilities.
I only have
You
two.
will get multiple guns, and you only have 2 manuscript fragments.
Yeah, I need 18, 12, and 12.
Yeah. But eventually you can upgrade your weapons, and you'll get other guns. It's just you start with your service pistol.
Yeah.
So based on stubs of items you can find in the AWE DLC of Control,
Let's get to the murder stuff.
which is the Alan Wake expansion, but it also is where they introduce the concept of altered world events, which is the FBC trying to understand how supernatural things can affect and rewrite reality.
Breaker's disappearance.
And it's heavily implied that the reason the FBC didn't exist before Alan Wake 1 and then started to exist afterwards is because Alan wrote the Federal Bureau into existence.
Oh, wow.
That is heavily implied. That because of his writing, that caused a supernatural hunting agency in the government to exist. Like he created them. That is implied for like collectibles in Control.
Oh, okay. That's a DLC. So that's a DLC in Control?
That was a free DLC to hype up the fact that Alan Wake 2 was going to be a thing.
Nice.
Have you noticed what was the crime scene is completely flooded now?
Yeah. So
Page did place him at Cauldron Lake in an overlap. So how do we follow him there?
Maybe something around here will tell us.
Monsters, overlaps, rituals. What do you make of all of this?
The killers are usually the ones performing the ritual, not the detective. Acting out their sick fantasy. They may be trying to get you involved, forcing you into their twisted world.
But with dead men coming alive, the word ritual starts to have more weight behind it. We need to look around. Learn what this ritual is.
But how much more flooded it is? How are we gonna get to the lake?
What then? I've never arrested a monster.
I've watched you arrest plenty of monsters, Anderson.
You know what I mean. Monsters.
Like
Why work
Frankenstein.
against him at the morgue? That might be the only way to stop him from hurting anyone else.
How do you arrest Dracula? What do you charge him with?
How do you arrest Dracula? Well, I guess you stake him and leave him for the sunrise.
Bare feet.
Well, that's not gonna be arresting. That's killing him.
Well, yeah, but it's hard to arrest someone who's a vampire.
Seen one more time, Casey.
Unless you, like, I don't know, like entomb them.
If anything comes up, I'll radio you.
Follow the footprints. Sun's going down. It's gonna get real dark soon.
the thing I think that's worth pointing out is American Nightmare is still canon.
Yeah.
And a concept that was introduced in American Nightmare is now what's being described in this game as overlaps. It was a concept in that game, but didn't get a name until they started being called overlaps in this. So obviously, the lake can lead into the dark place, but overlaps is where when two circles intersect and overlap into like the pie chart kind of stuff.
Yeah, yeah.
It's that, but that's between the reality and the dark place,
Mm-hmm.
and that's what an overlap is. The witch's hut.
Okay, a tourist trap.
Yep.
What is that?
So this game isn't open world, which is good. Instead, it has several big hubs
Yeah.
that are all intricately hand designed,
Like-
and I think is significantly a better idea.
Like, this is a whole hub that give the illusion of like an open world.
But it's a thing that's manageable instead.
Minge told me today that her family's moving away. This sucks. I haven't even told her that I like her yet. What's the point anymore? She said her parents want to get better jobs and get her to a better school in a big city. I guess that's fair. Who wants to stay in Bright fucking Falls? So I told her. She said thanks. Fucking kill me. Oh wow. I snuck out last night again. I went to the big house by the lake, instead of just watching it from here, like I always do. I guess it's the witch's hut.
Yeah.
Instead of just sitting around like I always do. Screw that. Anyway, something weird is going on down there. I'm going to find out what. Going to go back there tomorrow with better gear. I bet I can find a way inside the building. Take some epic photos. It's gonna be epic. And this is where he set himself up.
Hey, Casey. What's the far's favorite shape?
Please, Anderson. Just one case without the
A triangle.
I don't get it.
Yes, you do. A lunchbox again. Who's leaving these out here?
I know things can get a little crazy around here, but if you're ever feeling scared, just remember that Alan is watching over us. Who is leaving this? That's a manuscript fragment. Oh, yeah, they always manuscript fragments. Yeah, I was confused for a little bit. So whoever's leaving these is aware of Alan. So it's someone we know from the first game.
The tracks lead into the water. Where'd he go from here?
Oh, fuck you!
Feel something. A presence. I know Nightingale is somewhere around Cauldron Lake.
The tree was a threshold. This place and the dark place. You're in over your head. Next stop, Caldera Street Station.
The threshold. Like a doorway. Leading to Nightingale. It's somehow connected to a tree. Witch's ladle?
So to give some context for things as you play, if you remember in the first game, there was the diver, Thomas Zane, and he appeared as Tom the Diver. He had the big glowy lights, and he was there to help Alan and explain how things worked.
Mm-hmm.
The thing with that is, and further expanded material, Tom the Diver and that Thomas Zane in the first game, yeah, you're gonna have to go look around somewhere else. It's too flooded for you to continue forward.
Yeah.
But the Thomas Zane and Tom the Diver in the first game was an entity called the Bright Presence, which is the antithesis of the Dark Presence, that was inhabiting the body of Thomas Zane. in order to help fight. The reason I bring that up is because you should read this.
There's no mystery in Cauldron Lake being named after its cauldron shape, and yet there are many mysterious stories about the lake. It being a gloomy doorway to the underworld, or of a witch whose cauldron the lake really was. The legend tells that when the affections of a local sheriff went unanswered, he accused the lady in question of having bewitched him. She was drowned, but her dropped ladle grew into a strange tree named Witch's Ladle. The woman returned to avenge her wrongdoers if she was not a witch before she was one now. She killed the sheriff, drowning him in the lake. Then, she took out his heart and locked it in the box. With the heart, she would summon him from the lake to exact revenge on her behalf. Or so the legend goes. That's,
So if you notice...
That's a parallel.
Well, do you notice that woman? You've seen her before.
Have I?
In Alan Wake 1, the Dark Presence was inhabiting the body of Barbara Yeager.
That's right!
Who was the wife of Thomas Zane, who was a diver. Thomas Zane was Tom the poet, and he did poetry.
Seems like it's reacting to the light.
Go on.
And you see, she drowned in the lake, and the Dark Presence inhabited her body. When Emil Hartman, who was the therapist in the first game, who got taken by the darkness later, who was trying to manipulate Alan, he manipulated Tom to try to use his poetry to bring her back. When he brought her back into the world, she was gone, but her body was being inhabited by the darkness. So instead, he drove himself and the Dark Presence in the form of his wife into the lake. And he left his physical body to let the Bright Presence take over, while the Dark Presence took her body, and him and his wife's souls just ascended and left. The Dark Presence used her as a host to do evil, and tried to use her body to manipulate Alan into giving it power and changing the world. But the the Bright Presence, in the form of Tom's the diver, if you remember the old diving suit, taught Alan how to fight back, and Alan was able to stop it.
Yeah.
And he destroyed the body of Barbara Yeager. The person, Barbara Yeager, the woman, we never truly met. We just met the Dark Presence wearing her skin, essentially. In the same essence, we never really met the original Thomas Zane. We met this antithesis to the Dark Presence called the Bright Presence that was wearing his diving suit. I bring that up because that is clearly a drawing of Barbara Yeager with old wives' tales relating to it. So you should hit A.
These aren't the same tracks that were here before.
Yeah.
They're headed into the tree, not out of it.
So instead of originally, originally you would shine a flashlight on an enemy until they opened up their darkness and you could shoot them.
Yeah.
In this game, you burn your flashlight battery to pull up their shield, and then you lay into them to kill them.
And it doesn't recharge like in the old game.
Yep. But the combat has changed.
Saga stepped into the witch's hut. Inside, a bright light. There were objects that stood out to Saga, as if the light had manifested them.
The witch's hut. Okay.
So you can turn the witch's hut into a safe haven. And it has key items once you turn it into a safe haven.
Yeah.
The witch's hut being that little touristy trap.
Let's go back.
That information I brought about the Dark Presence and the Bright Presence, by the way, a lot of that extra detail was from a blog called This House of Dreams, which was a blogspot styled website at blogspot.com, and it was called This House of Dreams, and it was a ARG in the a set in the Alan Wake universe created by Remedy in February 2012 that launched alongside American Nightmare.
Probably just a deer, but I'm gonna check it out.
That had extra lore.
Because so that wasn't in the game.
Following up on a lead.
That was ARG stuff that came out
Describe the hut.
in when American Nightmare came out, and then also hyped up plot details that would later be in Control.
I need to find one to turn on the lights.
I need a fuse. Maybe over here? Oh.
This fuse is busted.
Hmm.
Keep looking.
Is it here now? No. Oh, here we go.
Looks good. People should really stop littering, though.
Also, a fuse is like not a thing you should leave it alone. Go back.
Back?
Is that the lunchbox you already got?
Yeah, that's the lunchbox I already got.
Okay, you already got it. Yeah, there's a bunch of them.
Yeah, in Alan Wake 1 in American Nightmare, you just aim to focus your light.
No, and this you got it's like a consumable.
Yeah, it's a separate
That's
button
ins-
press.
Yeah. So you can quick save and then manual save.
Coffee.
Another page.
Oh.
Making progress.
The image of the witch in the sign.
So now you gotta do some
Saga
detective
addressed
work.
The witch. The smudged line on the heart. The second part recited from memory. I brought you the heart, witch. Show me the terror. Saga pushed the heart through the hole in the sign.
This was the key. The tree was the threshold.
I already took care of all this.
Okay, it does it for you. You've already, like, figured it out.
The page from the witch's hut seems to be describing some kind of ritual.
Nightingale's heart disappeared from the morgue. Where is it now?
Oh, yeah, it did, didn't it? I forgot about that.
To get into
Oh,
the overlap,
I forgot about the heart.
find Nightingale's heart. Read the line imprinted on it, plus the line on the page to the witch's ladle sign. Then push the heart through the hole in the sign.
Words on the heart. What could they mean?
Finding a Casey movie lunchbox out here can't be a coincidence. Another message.
Yeah, why Bright Falls? Why is this? Who left these? Oh. Cauldron Lake area. This would also go here. We're in this together, hero. What do they mean? Who left this? Do you know what sign mentions Alan? Alan awake? What the hell are these? Like, how many people are aware of Alan Wake? That's okay. That's case closed. And this is all. Where are we at now? Okay. Wait.
Come on in and listen.